Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to In Grove or Green, the Changeling the Lost Chronicle that we're running here on Final Show Films. My name is Jack. I am your storyteller for this evening. And in case anybody's missed the through line of my existence on this channel, Black Lives Matter, justice is important, cops should be held accountable, and bigotry is horrible. Joining me tonight is John.
I'm John, and the person that notices every time someone tries to say Final Show Film instead of Final Show Films.
Yes, I trailed off there.
I'm playing Akujin, the Ogre Metal Flesh Blood Brute.
And William.
I'm William, and I'm playing Fate, the Ochre Gristle Grinder.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Adele Elizabeth Hamilton, Darkling Grey White.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I am playing Mira Fairest, Playmate Kyrugan, who wants everyone to just get along.
Excellent. And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Liz, the Wizened Oracle.
And Holly.
I'm Holly, and I'm playing Lark, the Beast Windwing.
And the last time we were in Baltimore, the motley unlikely ran headfirst into the prepared schemes of Leaffinger, a spring woodblood who managed to utilize the Janus Knight of Challenges to chisel that motley out of their keyhold role as commons stewards. In the aftermath, following some moderate to intense self-harming vandalism by Adele, Akujin noted a contingent of summer courtiers armed for battle before departing in haste. Lark had also left the night gallery to wander alone into the snowy city streets, while a very drunk Adele was driven home by Phage's girlfriend Paige. And as Lark's ears catch the staccato of gunfire in the distance, Paige's vehicle radio clicks on. A wolf struggles through a frozen tundra, separated from her pack. Her blood stains the snow, leaving a clear trail for whatever hunts her across the ice. The ghosts of her past drift in her wake, unkind, unfriendly, and unquiet spirits bent on destruction and ready to feed. The teeth of death are always hungry for those exposed to loss. So that's what you hear, Adele, as you're sitting there in the passenger seat, trying not to bleed on the upholstery.
Paige is like, what the fuck was that?
And that is pretty much exactly what happens. Paige is like, okay, was that you?
You get used to it, or you do what I do and you pretend that it's not happening.
Meanwhile, in a
Because
different
I've tried destroying radios to prevent it happen, and Liz just gets angry at me. And I'm supposed to be making Liz angry at me less often these days.
Kind of a personal, emotional goal.
An edict, I would say.
Oh, this is one of those external locus of control things. Okay.
Yes.
You're sure you're going to make it to your house?
I will. Yes, I will be fine.
All right. I mean, I'd ask if delirium brought on by blood loss was contagious, but I know that that's not a thing.
It is not. No, that actually happens all the time. It's really infuriating.
Do you know who it is on the
No,
other end?
that's what makes it doubly infuriating.
Yes, we do.
And
His
it's
name's
always
DJ
oddly
Otzel.
relevant to something that's going on. So perhaps we should be concerned and check with people.
I mean, we know
as
that
I'm sending a group text.
I mean, we know that it's DJ Utzel, but we don't know who the hell that is.
Adele's statement stands. As I'm sending a group text, is anybody alone right now?
You mean aside from Lark? The text
Someone's going to say.
back.
Well, and Phage currently, I think, right? Phage, or is Phage and Mira in the same place?
No, Mira's alone.
Mira,
Okay.
yeah, Mira, Phage, and Lark are all alone right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phage is heading to not be alone, but
Because our radio suggests that could
You
be
were
a
supposed to
problem.
drive someone home. I don't remember who, but mom senses are tingling.
Yes.
All right. So you get responses from at least Phage and I assume Mira?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mira's response will include, and I'm looking for Lark, who wandered off somewhere on her own.
That is definitely a thing that should happen.
Into a snowstorm with no coat.
That is definitely a thing that should happen. The looking, according to our radio.
Meanwhile, Liz and Akujin
Yep.
are about halfway to the crack house, which is a very short drive away from the night gallery.
So, after presumably having been driving for a little while in silence after doing the initial pointing out of things.
Oh no, I've kept talking.
And Liz is now looking much more like you, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit. So, what's the deal with you guys and Gale?
Gil was in our motley when we came out of the hedge. So it's that one's the brake and that one's the accelerator.
Yeah. Yep. So what'd she do that you would demand an apology for?
So accelerator, brake, and then just sort of like,
You don't have to tell me. If you don't want
Akujin,
to.
give me a wits and empathy plus 25 to be able to figure out that Liz might be dodging this question.
I don't need the roll. I already knew. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I just wanted to say that was pretty ballsy of you.
you just want to what?
I just wanted to say that was pretty ballsy of you. In a good way.
Well, it didn't work.
It doesn't matter if it didn't work. You tried. A hell of a lot more than some people do.
But it didn't work, and I got bruised up, and
Yep. So you're gonna try again later?
The parallels in this conversation right now.
sorry. I don't know if you didn't hear me. He asked, so are you going to try again later?
No. She doesn't. She didn't listen to me.
No.
Is why.
Well, if you ever want to try again, you've got my support. Or whatever that's worth.
How do people join your biker gang?
Well, most people we find either down and out, having a hard time, need some work. We give them a couple of jobs. If they're good at doing the jobs, we bring them on in. Make them part of the club.
Okay.
Why, were you thinking of applying?
Is it like a motley?
I don't know, having not been in a motley. It's like a family.
Okay.
So, by the way, I know your friend said she was going to look for Lark, but there's a war going on. You want to go help look?
Mm, not friend family. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm worried.
me too.
She's disappeared. Nero disappeared. There's a lot of snow.
Any idea where to look?
She likes going to sing at places. Maybe she did that.
That might be something. You know any of the places she sings at regularly?
No.
Let's drive around, see if we can't see something. And I'm going to turn away from the crack house and begin driving around, trying to see if we can find A, where Summer's having a fight, and B, see if we any places where somebody might have wandered away from the night gallery.
Okay.
I read through the text and everyone gets, I'm assuming that happened about the same time. We're looking to from Liz.
Just sent back a keep me updated. I should probably not go out searching right now.
All right.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Also, blood loss.
Oh,
So I don't have to keep pulling over my car to check my text. I'm going to just call Akujin and hope he has a speaker system in his van or whatever.
I do.
So phone propped up on the dashboard, because if I remember, this thing is kind of an old hunk of junk.
It's a little bit. Yeah. It's a late 90s minivan.
Yeah, so it doesn't have one of those fancy things where you press the button and suddenly the car
Nope,
voice
sure
is your
doesn't.
voice. Yeah.
Nope.
Right, that's right.
At some point, somebody had bought one of those little plugs into the cigarette lighter, broadcasts on the radio, Bluetooth things for the van. And then much later, somebody was like, you know what? We should put one of those things that holds your cell phone but gets jammed into the heating vent things. That's as sophisticated as the minivan.
Yeah.
is.
But yeah, I answer her phone.
You're also searching?
We're driving around. I was going to be doing the rounds anyways. Figured I'd keep this with me. Just in case.
All right. Well, we should stay in contact. I don't have a radio with me, and I'm also driving a car, Liz. Stop texting.
Everyone else was texting.
Ding.
I know, but half of us are currently driving.
Ding.
The group chat to remind them that half of us are currently driving.
Look,
And also
Ding.
tell Phage that if she's texting and driving on a motorcycle, I'm gonna beat her ass.
Mira,
Ding.
Phage only stops to text at a red light, so you know.
Mira.
That's not good.
No, it's
That's
not. It really isn't.
Still not
It's
good.
not, but
It's not.
I realize you will survive any crash you get into. This is the matter of principal and mom genes.
Mira,
Ding.
do you know any of the places Lark might go to just if she was feeling upset? Like places that she's familiar with?
Yeah, she would look for somewhere with music, probably, or somewhere where she could perform music. She might go to her boyfriend's place, but we've already contacted Barnaby. So if you wanted to check near town routes and places with sound, probably right now places where there aren't a lot of changelings. And I know the general direction of Barnaby's place, sort of in that general direction. But I'm a little more worried that the snowstorm is bad enough she probably doesn't know where she's going.
Yeah. I figured I'd start.
If you're not
Visibility
used
is
to
not
it,
great.
you're not going to be able to find your way around.
My-
Can I think of have the group of us, or Lark specifically, ever walked somewhere from the night gallery regularly enough that might be the instinctive route Lark would have taken? You know how you autopilot to your old apartment?
Yeah. So in decent weather, at least, your guys' crack house is walking distance from the night gallery.
Yeah.
But you also know that that was the route that Akujin would have been initially taking.
Yeah.
So she's probably not along that if they're still having to look.
She might have she might have autopiloted towards the night gallery, but it doesn't sound like you've seen her.
My initial idea was to check out places near the night gallery within walking distance, and then sort of expand the circle
Towards
out.
our house. Okay.
So I'll do that in the Jeep with Liz, see if Liz picks up anything, see if I pick up anything. If you want to take any places that are less likely, since you're probably better at navigating in the winter alone. And if you find her, give us a call. Because if she gets jumped by a bunch of hobgoblins, let me know and I'll be there as soon as I can.
Is anyone at the crack house right now?
I'm sure we...
Butterfly.
Butterfly is not cognizant enough to call us if Lark comes back. I love her,
No.
and she's very sweet, but she is not a good emergency contact.
We're right next to it.
Make sure someone is back at the crack house, because the odds are if Lark ends up wandering somewhere, it could be there, and we don't want her to just be fine and we're all out searching.
Yeah.
Do none of you have search and rescue training?
Not official training.
No. Should I?
Well, we're right next to
Adele's
the house.
bleeding,
We're right next to the house. So we'll
apparently.
check it out.
What?
What?
Where's Adele?
Going back to her house, I think. Probably. That's what she usually does.
But you said she's bleeding.
Yes.
Akujin, take point on the search.
Yep.
I'm going to go find Adele, because you can't deal with that, because she would
Yeah.
panic.
Yeah.
I can deal with that.
Yes, Liz, but you're currently in a car with the person who is the
Yes.
literal embodiment of Adele's phobias, and thus you should not go to Adele while she's vulnerable with oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
No offense, but
None taken? No.
the no offense was at Akujin,
Yeah.
who is in the car with you. Use your eyes to look around for Lark. And I am
There are 3 eyes in the
putting that
car.
call on hold and calling Phage.
Who
So
is on a motorcycle right now?
And that's
very
probably not
coordinated.
answering the phone.
Fair, right.
I don't think
Actually,
Phage
no.
has a. I don't think
Actually,
Phage has a
no.
mount for her phone on her
Phage
motorcycle.
told me that Paige was taking Adele home because I was
Yes.
trying
Right.
to
Yes.
sort out
Yeah.
all the calls.
Mhm.
I'm calling Paige, which,
actually,
given that I'm using voice commands to do it, probably does result in 2 calls to Phage before I
First,
actually get one to
before
go
you're
to
like,
Paige.
there are
No, Google. I said Page.
there are actually 5 eyes in the van with me because I forgot Diego's with us too.
Yep, Diego's just
Oh,
chilling
hi,
back,
Diego.
watching this shit go down.
Did you say you want to get paid?
Right?
The page for your favorite sushi restaurant
Yeah.
is this. Yeah. Anyways,
Oh, God.
calling Paige.
All right.
You pick a girlfriend with the same name.
Accessing Stephen King's cell, page 33.
It would have been doubly worse if Phage had actually changed her first name in her fake ID, because it would have been Paige at that point, because it's
Right.
similar.
Mhm. Yep. No, it started out as an NPC joke that I thought sounded funny, and then you decided I want to start dating this girl, and she didn't roll to reject you. So, you know, what can I say? I've made my bed, and now I lie in it.
Anyway, yes,
anyway.
calling
Paige. Yep.
her.
All right. Yep.
You know, you shouldn't answer that. You're driving. No,
She's not driving.
Oh.
She's in a CVS parking lot.
No. By this point, she's back on the
Yeah,
road. Yeah, no,
yeah.
they've been on the road at this whole time, pretty much. No, what happens is that Paige reaches into the console and just tosses the phone to you, Adele, and you realize that, yeah, whatever her rings are, she knows that this is at least a member of your motley calling.
does it come up with the name?
No, actually, as you pick up the
Phone?
the phone, yeah, it just says Candy Girl.
Well, I know who that is. I'm declining.
You know who that
call.
is. Yeah, right.
Call declined.
It's going to keep ringing.
I was gonna say no, and after it rings the second time, Paige is like, "Answer it."
Fine. Hello.
Adele, I heard you're bleeding.
I'm perfectly fine.
This is the
Adele, are you
conversation
on
that we've had like 3 times.
There must have been some confusion. Go find Lark. I'm perfectly fine. I will talk to you later.
Do I get a wits and empathy on that?
You're at a -1 because this is just vocal, but sure. And Adele, you're making a manipulation and subterfuge.
To be fair, she's also not trying real hard at the moment.
So you're at a -2 then.
Okay.
Adele.
I'm using a willpower on this because it's important. It's like
Fair enough.
Nope.
Adele is totally bullshitting you.
You can hear the blood loss in her voice.
okay, where are you spending the night? I want to make sure Oxygen doesn't arrive there because I'm currently helping coordinate the search, and I don't want him delivering Lark to your door, as I imagine that would be panic-inducing if it's where you are.
That is absolutely true. Don't worry. I am staying in a hotel room somewhere.
That's bullshit, dear.
Yes, it is.
Do I need to call a search party to come after you? Why did you take Paige's phone?
I did not take Paige's phone. Paige is currently driving it at the moment, and it is not safe to speak on the phone while driving. I would hope you would know that.
I'm on speaker.
I am going to my home. Okay, I will put you on speaker. I am going to my home. I will be perfectly fine there. there is somebody who is potentially in much more danger than I am right now. If the radio was any indication, I'm sure you've read our texts.
See, reading text while driving, now that is terribly dangerous. You weren't particularly clear about what the ever ambiguous radio said, actually.
Something about lone wolf separated from pack. And implications of danger.
And death specifically.
And bleeding out.
Both of you give me an intelligence and empathy roll.
Intelligence is just as crap as my wits. Okay, cool. 2 successes.
Okay.
3 successes.
With those, it occurs to you that currently, given that none of this motley is actually with any other member of this motley, that warning could equally apply to any of the 5 of you. Or possibly all 5.
To be fair, I
once.
don't know that we are all separated.
You don't know that, no.
It's fair.
Adele, you do realize that with the exception that Liz is being driven home by Akujin, literally all of us are alone right now.
So what you're telling me is Liz is clearly in the most danger right now.
Yes, but I'm currently on hold with her, so I will hear the murder over the phone call.
I'm sure Liz will appreciate that. I will be locked in a home with several ghostly friends who I could potentially literally bring through a door into this world at this point, should I need to be. I think I am probably the safest. And then I look over at Paige, who I've just told that I can bring the dead through to this world. Never mind.
Paige is muttering something in Spanish under her breath.
You're gonna have such an interesting
going to
conversation
check
with your
in every
girlfriend at some
hour.
point.
Until we get someone to be with you.
Or until I sleep.
If you fall asleep, I'm coming to find you.
Coffee it is then.
That's not terrifying.
That's
And
my
you
line.
know,
I
I
will
don't feel like
find
doing the
you
voice right now because
again.
I have a slightly sore throat, but that was
No,
absolutely in Mira's voice.
Legit.
He kind of nope,
I got
nope,
it. I
not
got it.
today.
Nope, you're
Don't
good.
try
You're
and do
good.
it. I
Yeah.
understand.
Don't push
There's a
yourself
reason
to
why
that.
Mira's not talking all sweet
Jesus
and sugary
Christ.
today, and it has nothing to do with her character.
Oh my god. So what you're saying is don't ever fall asleep. I understand this point of reference. I lived that for many years.
You're stealing lines.
Go meet up with others. Go find Lark. I will be okay.
And with Lark as the subject of so much attention, our camera cuts to her. Lark, you're standing on a street corner. Snow at least 6 inches deep in every direction. Wind kind of starting to cut through whatever sort of outer garments you currently have. And you hear gunfire in the distance.
Also, all she's wearing is a dress and leggings and boots.
Okay.
Like, that's it.
Well, at that point, then give me a stamina and survival roll. -2.
As the frost begins to set in.
Mhm.
Yeah, 0.
0 successes. All right. as you stand here, suddenly realizing sort of what situation you find yourself in, you can feel a level of numbness creeping into your extremities. You didn't notice up until this point because your emotional turmoil sort of was focusing most of your attention.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is not a good night to be out without protective wear. And also, people are shooting.
Yeah. What direction's the gunshots coming from?
So it's kind of to the south east of you currently.
About how far away does it sound like?
Give me a wits and honestly, I'm going to make that wits and streetwise.
Four successes.
2 or 3 blocks, probably. The snow's coming down too heavy, but you feel like if the air was clear, you might be able to at least catch the edge of muzzle flash from this distance based on what you're hearing. The fact that it's bouncing off of buildings and other sort of solid structure kind of fucks with the noise a little bit, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's gonna go towards the gunshots.
Okay.
She's
All
not
right.
making rational decisions.
I'm gonna freeze to death. There's people shooting. I'm not gonna turn my phone on and walk straight towards the gunfire.
Welcome to the world of darkness, baby.
And you say I make bad decisions.
You do.
What we're
The
saying is
main
this is-
character litmus test. Do you walk away or towards the gunfire?
All right.
What we're saying is this is all Lys's fault because she's clearly rubbed off on the rest of the mob.
You begin to trudge through the snow, trying to keep an ear. It's intermittent. It's not like a solid, Rambo spray of automatic or anything. There's a couple single shots. There's some burst fire. There's definitely at least some automatic weapons here, and it's surprising to you that things go very quiet after you cover about a block. There's still the occasional pop in the distance or burst, but after about the first, minute or so, everything seems to be slowly petering out a bit. But as you get closer, you can start to hear shouting voices. Coming around the corner to where you think that you're getting closer, you're suddenly confronted by a number of headlights that are sort of casting an open beam across a vacant lot. The snow is diffusing the light somewhat, making it difficult to see, but occasionally a silhouette darts in front of one of the vehicles that has its lights turned on, and you can see maybe 3 or 4 people moving back and forth between the vehicles, and then further out into the parking lot where things are further away from any actual illumination. But you seem to have gotten to the scene of whatever was going down.
Can I make out who the people are?
Not from this distance. You'd actually have to get up close if you want to see what's going on.
She'll get closer.
Okay. Give me a wits and composure -2 then.
This is where Lark dies.
Jumping as
I'm
fast as
sorry.
I can.
I'm having internal arguments with Lark right now.
No, don't worry about it. This is great. We're just being snarky.
I'm sorry. Did you say -2?
-2, yes. Snow's definitely picked up, and with this being a vacant lot, the wind is kind of ripping through here and making visibility worse.
One
When do you
success.
start?
If this is summer, I'm gonna laugh so hard if Gale saves Lark.
When do you start hallucinating Nero going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right?
To get further into the frostbite stages.
I see.
Yep. With one success, the first person that you see that confronts you is a fairly tall female. She's got kind of leonine features to her. You can obviously tell Changeling. Go ahead and give me an intelligence and socialize. Or politics, whichever one's better for you. And actually, I'll give you a +1 to this one.
Alright.
Because there's a chance you might know this person.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right. You recognize this as Anima. She's a member. She's a summer court member and also a member of Barnaby's Motley.
Okay.
Godforsaken. There you can see she's bleeding from a couple shallow cuts on her left arm, and there's just some heavy swelling underneath her right eye. She looks like she's gone a few rounds with somebody. But she looks over. Lark, is that? And kind of shading her eyes because you're sort of coming out of the lights, and she was headed back toward the vehicles.
Yeah. Are
Oh
you
God!
okay?
Did you get caught up?
It's a long story with me, but are you okay? What's happening?
Yeah, nah. I'll be fine. No, we're trying to. Are you? Do you know first aid at all? We could use a couple extra hands. Come on. And she grabs you by the wrist and starts dragging you out into the middle of the parking lot.
I don't think I know first aid.
There's someone who does.
Yeah, but she's not going to contact Mira.
No.
If she were to contact anyone in the group, it would not be Mira. I love you, Aaron.
No.
I get it.
Poor Mira,
This also
everybody
does.
is like, here's a place where medical attention is needed. But we're angry at you right now, so
Yeah.
fuck
We'll
off.
point out that I believe Liz has a few dots of medicine and a high.
Yeah, I've got 3.
Yeah.
So Liz
have-
also has medical experience.
I
So
have
Liz
1
is
dot of
as
medicine.
competent as most like master's level doctor students.
Mhm.
Yep.
So you could contact someone, even if it's not me.
No.
Please
Nope.
don't die of refusal to communicate with my character.
I mean,
She
you know
might.
me. I don't give a fuck. I will have a new character done by the end of the session.
Yeah, see, I understand that you don't care about your character's mortality, and I am often in the same boat. Unfortunately, I would feel bad if you died because you didn't essentially because you were annoyed at Mira.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So she drags you out into the middle of this vacant lot where there's a couple of concrete barriers, just a pair of them sitting at a weird angle, sort of, and collapsed in the snow, leaning up against it, holding his abdomen. And you can, even from this distance, even with the snow, you can see the blood just pouring out between his fingers, is Papa Sledge, one of the highest ranked summer members, who has apparently taken at least 1 bullet straight to the abdomen.
Mm.
And Anima just pushes you down onto the ground. Keep pressure on that.
Okay.
And hands you a couple of stripped rags that she's pulling out of a pouch by her, off of her belt. Go ahead and give me an intelligence and medicine -2 for terrible
Yeah.
condition.
Can I spend willpower on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my medicine is 1, my intelligence is 1. You said -2.
Yep.
Okay.
The modifier grand total will be +1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 0 successes.
Okay. So you're trying to hold it in there, but whatever you're doing, it's either there's more holes than you can initially see with the bad lighting right now, or it's too deep and the simple pressure of the cloth on the surface of the flesh isn't enough to hold back the tide. And yeah, you just feel the cloth immediately get warm and wet under your hands. You might be doing something, but he is still bleeding pretty badly. He sort of coughs and you can see a little bit of blood trickle out the corner of his mouth. Goblins came up from the south. Put in the call. War Dancer, where's War Dancer? And he's looking around like he's gonna try and get up and go looking
Yeah.
for somebody.
No. Lark will try to push him back down. No, you've got to stay down right now.
Key holds under his hack. We gotta rally the troops. Get folks on. And you can tell blood loss is starting to, and delirium is starting to set in on him.
Does Lark recognize where she is right now?
Give me a intelligence and streetwise.
0 successes.
You're pretty sure you're somewhere just north of just south of Route 40, but you don't know where along that stretch you are.
Lark will just heavy sigh, turn on her phone.
Buzz.
So many notifications.
It's the thing where you open Slack and you're like, 20 notifications, 80 notifications. What did wrestling do to me this week?
Or
I feel like it's one of those times where
I
you
do love
open it up
wrestling.
and then your phone just shuts down because it's overloaded and has to restart.
Probably
She's-
not because it's the messages app.
She'll call Mira.
Lark,
All right.
hi, where are you? Are you okay?
Okay, I'm fine. I don't matter right now. Okay, there
You
was
always matter to me.
Shut up. There's shooting and there are a lot of injured people.
Okay. Do you know where you are? Can you get on the
Uh,
phone with someone?
I'm sorry. Jack,
Actually, now that your phone is on, I'm using the Find My Friends thing.
of course you are. Crap.
Hey,
Because
I
why
didn't
would
set that
any
up.
of-
Adele did.
I did. This is on me.
Mm.
Because why would any of us care about our motley mates' privacy?
Okay, mm.
So
Okay,
Anyways, still asking where you are. as
is
that's
me applying
happening.
pressure to him helping at all at this point?
it's definitely better than none.
There's no one else around right now.
Anima basically was like, hold this, and ran off. You are the only conclusion you can kind of draw from that is other people are injured even worse.
You're with Summer, right?
Yeah.
What's around you? What can you see? I'm gonna conference Akujin and listen if that's okay. They're also out looking for you.
Okay. Awesome.
And they will be able to help. So yes, conference call. Hey guys, Lark is alive and apparently people need medical assistance.
Hi.
Lark, give me another stamina and survival, this time -1.
I look back over to Diego, who's in the back seat, and very quickly, quietly, in Spanish, just say, "Get a hold of somebody, get us a location." Because this is all on speaker.
Gosh,
so he
am I
would have
having
heard
any
that.
luck with the Find My Friends thing if I've pulled over to do that or no?
It's loading, and
Okay.
right about now is when it finally pings through. You're guessing bad weather conditions are kind of making it hard.
Yeah.
One
But
success.
yep, 1 success. All right. You can still feel that chill rolling in. Your shoulders are starting to ache. Your fingers are okay because his blood is very warm, but you're starting to shiver, and it's affecting your ability to hold constant pressure on. Mira, you see that she is somewhere along the stretch of North Schroeder Street, just north of Lexington.
All right. I'll say that out loud. We're pretty sure you're on North Schroeder near Lexington. Is there a building that's a different color?
The
We're alive.
the Jeep does a U-turn.
All right. Yes, I'm alive, but there are other people that might not be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know where that is?
I don't matter right now.
Yes.
But your location does if you want those people to
Yes.
survive.
Okay. Are there buildings around me that seem to stand out?
You can vaguely make out some silhouettes of them, but this is a very large vacant block almost. You're in between two one-way streets. One goes south, one goes north, and it's just open space in the middle. You can see on the far sides of both of those streets there are some buildings. Nothing that you can make out distinguish through the snow particularly.
I can't really. There are buildings. I
Are you
don't
guys
know.
just fighting in the streets?
You can
Is-
tell that the fighting seems to be over. Whatever fight was
but-
here, you got here for the aftermath.
The fighting is over. But she's in the middle of a parking lot, you said?
It's more like a vacant lot. You can kind of feel under the snow. It's like rough gravel and dirt, not even grass. But
And now
definitely
I'm
not-
driving that way. If that wasn't
Okay.
As
obvious.
am I, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in a gravel lot right now.
Both people who are driving give me dexterity and drive rolls.
Do I get question.
-1 for conditions.
Do I get any bonus for my snow tires with chains on?
You can make yours at a flat roll.
And two,
I'm spending another
can we spend
willpower.
willpower on this? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Plus
Meanwhile, Adele,
2.
you've gotten home.
Okay. If Paige looks at all confused, why I am specifically definitely trying to avoid having Miracle, I will explain quite simply that Mira needs to learn a little bit of when it's appropriate to be snarky at motley mates and when not to, and this is my way of doing so.
Well, I'm not a therapist, but okay.
It's okay. Therapy is generally something that our kind of people avoid as
Badly
a
need?
general rule. Avoid as a general rule in the first place because they try to convince us that what we experience is just all in our heads and not possible and that sort of thing.
I can concede that point.
So I fully acknowledge
Maybe some of
that
you
it's
should
not.
become therapists.
Oh, that would be a horrible idea. I don't know a single one of us who would make a good therapist.
All
But
right. Well,
I know it is not emotionally healthy, but
Or physically healthy.
as I see, but,
right.
but we all have our ways of coping. Thank you very much for the ride home.
You're
I will
welcome.
be- I
I'm
will
gonna
be
come in and
fine.
keep an eye on you until somebody
Very
else
well.
gets here.
That's fine.
I'm just here to keep an eye just in case. I'm not going to. Yes.
Of course, of course. Do
Paige, we
mind?
put your girlfriend through so much shit.
I know.
Do mind? There. Well, I'll show you which rooms not to go in right now.
I was
because-
gonna say if there's anything I need to know about what to not touch or look at or anything, absolutely.
It's just there are certain rooms that are. I have agreed to let people. Agreed to let my friends use those rooms for specific periods of time, and you wouldn't know when you go in because you won't be able to see them
Okay.
because they're dead.
Sure. And she sounds genuine, and you realize you're talking to a girl who met all of you at least once before the ensorcelment took over. So you know
Yes.
she's at least familiar with the concept of there's things you can't see that might actually be there, and
Yep.
then sometimes you can. But the
Ghosts
fact that
are
there's
not the
another,
weirdest thing she's had.
right?
to
The
deal
fact that
with.
there's another layer to that, she's like, yeah, that tracks.
Yep.
Once you've seen
Absolutely.
Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep isn't really that big of a deal.
Right. You're just
right.
like, okay, more of something. Okay. Yeah. And she has been in your house at least once.
Yeah.
So, she'll go in.
I go in.
Um,
I pour
mhm.
some. Do you want a drink? I'm having a drink.
I'm starting to sober up, and just in the very slim chance that somebody has to call 911, I think I'll hold off for now.
That is fair. That is fair. It's been a night.
It has. Well, we'll get through it somehow.
We will, or we won't. Either way.
We'll get through it somehow. That's where I'm gonna camp, if that's all right with you.
That's quite all right.
This is
Okay.
this is why Phage is dating this girl. She's about as spring as a mortal can get.
Do you need any help?
No, I'm good. I'm just
Even
going
just
to-
extra pair of hands to
I
hold?
am just going to.
whatever.
We'll see. I might need help replacing the bear. I did not have a lot of time, so I didn't round them with a lot of care. But the good news is that means they will be easy to remove. I might need some help with rebinding new ones, but we will see.
All right.
All
I bought
this
gloves,
indicates
so-
guts.
Here's some intestines. Can you just thanks?
Can you just hold these for a moment?
We'll put them back in a minute.
Oh
All
no,
right.
these are the outside intestines. These aren't my intestines.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes much more sense now. So you can
Yeah.
make. Are you at any wound penalties yet?
No, I am not at wound penalties yet.
Okay.
I imagine I might be at alcohol penalties, but
I was
those
gonna
don't
say-
count. Those aren't on the wound penalty list.
No, they're really not. You're definitely on alcohol penalties. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. So, make sure I'm using the proper.
Alcohol penalties sounds like happens in a bar game.
Right.
Isn't that the whole point of beer
Okay.
pong?
I don't know. I've never played beer pong. It seems
I
like a
have.
lot of fucking around when I'd rather just drink the drink.
See, yes, thank you.
All right.
No,
So you're going
but
to be making.
the point of beer pong is, as I understand it, some of the drinks are crap and some of them are good.
Why would
And
I
some
drink,
of them are pranks.
Why would I drink crap drinks when I could just drink normal drinks and skip the hassle?
Because you don't
Because
know
you
which
can
one the
get
hot
your
sauce is
friends
in
to
until
drink the
someone
crap
puts
drinks,
a thing
and that's
into
funny.
it.
All right.
That's
So you're
it.
going to be making a dexterity and medicine, factoring in Paige's assistance, but your own alcohol penalties. You're at a total of -2. You can spend willpower.
Look at all the people who my friends are. If I wanted any of you to drink a crap drink, I would just hand it to you and say it's a crap drink. Try it.
So you said
Fair.
intelligence medicine,
It
Dexterity
depends.
and medicine.
dexterity. Okay, well, it's the same either way. That's fine.
That comes with much less risk of property
Minus
damage.
2, which gives me 2 dice. Oh, what the hell? Let's spend a little power so I get a +1 instead.
In fact, that's
I'm fine.
That's what we did for Austin's
I am
bachelor party, now that I
perfectly
think about it.
fine.
All right. So you haven't healed any of your wounds.
No,
but,
no, of course not.
But with her assistance, over the course of about 20 minutes or so, you managed to get actual serviceable bandages
Woo.
over the arms to the point where you're definitely not in danger of taking any more lethal damage just from, existing.
Right, right.
She will let you have up to 2 shots of alcohol before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
Well, she's
You
not
need to-
actually trying to
to
kill
rest.
herself. So
Right, yeah.
Le-
You need to call it there.
Lethal damage from existing is my 5-finger death punch cover band.
Fair enough.
that's good. That's good.
That's
I like
that's
that.
very good. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Akunshin, you're going to be the first one on the scene. You're coming south on let's see, that'd be like on Schroeder Street, and off to your left hand side, so driver's side of the vehicle, you can see a couple of headlights out in this otherwise, to your knowledge, abandoned vacant lot that's probably slated for some corporate monstrosity to be built on it at some point, but has not gotten under construction yet.
Head that way.
And there's a few, and you can see at least 2 or 3 cars parked out there with their headlights pointed across various angles, and it's difficult to see with the wind pulling the snow up in the air, but you can occasionally make out the odd silhouette of somebody either moving, walking, running, something.
When Lark sees the headlights of his car,
Mhm.
or just sees the headlights of a car, she's gonna turn off her phone and take off again.
Okay. So give me, because there have been other cars driving by, so you might not be able to
Okay.
identify which
When-
one until he starts. I don't know. Akajin, would you be pulling up again alongside the road? Would you just be being like, all right, left turn, here we go into the lot to drive up next to the other vehicles? What?
Yeah, left turn into the lot.
Okay. So you wouldn't see that until somebody actually turns off the road and onto the lot.
Okay. As soon as he turns, she
Okay.
takes off and is turning off her phone in the process.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a dexterity and stealth roll if you're trying to remain
You better
unseen.
catch her.
I'm really sorry, guys.
This is amazing.
Really
You just want to be around people.
There's no wanting to be
Zero
around people, and then
successes.
there's dying of hypothermia. I feel like one of these takes priority.
Akajin and Les, you guys can both give me wits and composure -2.
Okay.
Should Diego also make that roll?
Sure, why not?
I'm curious at what point this level of avoiding your motley mate starts to threaten the motley pledge.
Got 1.
2 successes.
Yeah.
So both of you see a shape that looks vaguely Lark-esque hop up as the headlights of the Jeep splay over the area, hop up and just take off.
Yeah, I also see a lot of blood, though, presumably.
You can't really
Or-
see blood from this
Okay.
position. Yeah, no, it's a silhouette. She's in the distance. She's probably 30 yards away from you, 20, 30 yards out.
Hey, Lark, I'm gonna try and run
Yeah,
after.
I'm gonna grab a,
You are in a full speed moving vehicle. You're gonna try and run.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna try
when
and
I
get
see
out.
Lark, I'm hitting the brakes and because I know Liz is just gonna jump.
Let's give me a dexterity and athletics -2.
I'm going to
Okay.
Conditions
I need to
and-
catch up.
as Liz is trying to get out of the door, I'm going to throw one of my full-size leather jackets onto her so that she has something warm to give to Lark when she catches up.
Oh, that's fair. I have a puffy jacket, but I don't think it's -2, right?
-2. Yep.
Just like the coat
that's
rack.
1.
I'm not trying to
All right.
stop. Just the coat rack throw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take it
right.
with you.
So you you get the coat, but you only take 2 bashing damage
Okay.
from trying to leave a car before it has come to a stop, because that is
That's
not an
fair.
instantaneous thing.
No.
Yep. Lark, I'm trying to run after
Over the
her,
phone,
'cause-
I'm giving Mira more specific directions now that I found it.
Okay. And Mira, you're maybe a minute or 2 behind. So you'll be here fairly quickly.
Okay, let me know when I'm here.
Okay. So Lark, you hear somebody yell your name that sounds like Liz.
She's still going.
All right. I need stamina and athletics from both of you. You're both at a -2.
Yeah.
As you try and run off into what is quickly becoming a blizzard.
To Diego.
Great,
All right,
we're
let's
going
go
to have
see.
2
what-
people lost in a blizzard.
This is
Got 1 dice, so that's
legitimately
good.
the
4
funniest.
successes.
God.
This is legitimately the funniest extended
Yeah.
sequence starting from the end of last week that we've ever had in a final show film game ever.
Yes, it is essentially a Looney Tunes battle of no, I need to endanger myself more.
Yes, it's amazing. It's the best thing ever.
So Lark, you just take off and run because you're like, fuck that. Your feet are sliding and you're starting to feel that shivering get more and more and more intense. this is painful. This is you even to you, even in your emotional state, you're starting to realize this is quickly approaching physical danger. But you just move as quickly as possible. Liz, as you get out of the car and sort of catch yourself, you start running after her and you just biff it straight onto your stomach. And when you push yourself up and get back to your feet, snow is thick and you can't see her anymore. You have no idea which way she went.
As the Jeep stops over my shoulder.
Right.
Diego, see if you can find out where she went. And I'm going to go see to the summer court because apparently there are injuries.
Okay.
I don't track people. I have
Diego,
a list for that.
Right. Diego gives you a nod, flips up the collar of his jacket, pulls on a pair of gloves.
Take Liz with you.
And she'll slow me down.
Yeah, but Liz can talk to her better than you. Yeah.
Okay.
I just imagine, like, you turn around and you see one of Akajine's good friends running at you at maximum speed.
Exactly. That's why Liz needs
Yeah,
to be
that's-
there riding him like a
That's gonna be great.
like a warg.
Right.
A motorcycle gang has brought you the thing you are trying to avoid.
Better than the motorcycle gang by itself.
Is it though?
Fair.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like a motorcycle gang charging at with me with all the laundry I need to do is actually scarier.
Yeah, for sure.
Legit.
Basket of laundry. You're gonna do this.
Like, what if you really need
No, you can't make me.
is like a chainsaw? Then the motorcycle gang running at you with a bunch of chainsaws is definitely scarier.
Are you saying
Yeah.
Liz is the equivalent of a bunch of chainsaws?
Yes.
I mean, she is that
Unequivocally.
destructive to things that are generally around her and catch her curiosity.
And she is that capable of doing art pieces. And I mean that as a compliment because chainsaw art pieces kick fucking ass.
So, Liz, you're just kind of casting around and you hear a
Mhm.
crunch of boots behind you, and then there's just a clawed hand under your armpit. Let's go. And Diego is dragging you off through the
Okay, I
snow.
recognize. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And he's got a blanket over his opposite arm. You can see. Lark, you are now making me a stamina and survival at -3.
Okay, Diego will catch up after she passes out. You just wrap her up in the blanket and carry her back.
No, because it's really hard to find someone passed out in the snow if they're not wearing bright colors. And even if they are,
It is, but Diego is a wolf.
0 successes.
Yep. And technically, that was a no. You had one die. That's not a dramatic failure. You still had one die
Okay.
left. All right. So yep, you suddenly things start to shift, and you're having trouble keeping your feet at this point. You're still moving, but
Are there any buildings around me?
there are a few. At this point, you can make out a faint sign that says Edgar Allan Poe Museum.
Okay.
if drawing
Definitely
signs are
definitely
hard for me to
closed
be
and locked
pissed.
though,
Yeah,
at this
yeah.
hour of night.
Is there anywhere that looks like it might be open?
Nothing currently. No, there's a couple apartment buildings around and stuff like that, but it looks like they've got controlled access. All of them. Yeah, everything looks like that sort of low lit lobby lighting that you'll occasionally see after a place is closed, but still needs enough light for the security cameras to be able to pick shit up.
So is this just street right now? Is there any
Mm-hmm.
like forest or anything like that around?
Yeah, it's pretty much just street at this
Okay.
point. Yeah, you're not really close to any green space, and there's very little shelter out in this area that you're in right now. The only trees and stuff you'll see are the occasional sort of urban forestry. We put a tree on the sidewalk
Mhm.
or at, in between these two buildings, But yeah,
She's just gonna push on then.
I think you should
Okay.
definitely go into the place that probably has a recreation of a big swinging blade going back and forth, slowly lowering down.
Very thematically.
Yeah, apparently Edgar Allan Poe is doing a special on Mask of the Red Death currently. So,
Oh, much better. Also, like legit for real right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's wow, they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They either know what they're doing or it's so comically oblivious
Well,
because it's
It's a
inappropriate.
It's the museum, right?
yeah.
Exhibits at museums are planned out so far ahead.
Yeah, they generally are. That's the thing.
That's the thing. Like,
Like-
they probably haven't had the time. They probably
Then again,
either we try to
that's
change it, which is a
true of
pain in the ass.
museums.
or-
Something like the Edgar Allan Poe Museum is a small thing run by a few people.
You'd think if they realized that potentially that could be, I don't know, topically inappropriate, they would be able to change that at some point.
Or they just thought it was topically appropriate.
Yeah, or also that.
They also might be like, literally no one can come to our museum right now anyways, so
why
changing
spend?
out the exhibit is actually more danger than leaving up an exhibit
That is
no one
actually a
can go
very
to.
valid point.
And also costs more than just leaving it alone.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, Lark, you are currently at -3 on all dexterity pools because of onset of stage 1 hypothermia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. But Akajin, as you pull the vehicle to a halt and jump out, your eyes are probably still where Lark had originally come from, and you can see a large figure leaning up against a concrete barrier with his
over there.
hands clasped over his abdomen. As you get closer, you can see Sledge just sitting there, and they're starting to get ice kind of cresting on the edges of his face, and the blood under his hands has begun to coagulate and even freeze a bit where it's dripped down onto his pants and has splashed across his gut.
Does it look like he was sitting, like he is trying to get up, or is it?
No, at this point, his head has dropped to his chest, and he seems to be unconscious with his hands just resting there.
Okay, I'm going
Over-
to.
He's unconscious,
Whatever.
bleeding out in the snow. This is fine.
I'm going to very
This is
quickly
a-
get over there, and
All right.
I have no knowledge of first aid, but I'm going to try to keep him from falling over until Mira gets here.
Okay. Give me a strength and
You're
athletics
probably
-1.
still on a call with Mira, by the way.
Yeah, no, Mira, we definitely have injured here. If you get here as quickly as possible, I have no idea how to help.
I am going as fast as I can without getting pulled over because that would delay me.
Yeah. Got at least one person
Yeah.
unconscious, bleeding out in the snow right now.
Okay. Can you get him into the trunk of your car or the back of your car or something? He probably needs to be warm.
Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
In that
Keep
case,
pressure on what kind of wounds?
gut wound,
As you look, definitely a gunshot to the
Yeah.
abdomen.
gunshot, gut wound.
Keep pressure on that, and I am using my ferrousness and my Kairugan-ness to provide instructions that are easy for Akujin to follow.
Okay. So Akajin, as you try and move Sledge, give me a strength and athletics -1.
All right. First, I'm going to spend a glamour to
Okay.
use Might of the Terrible Brute to
Sure.
increase my strength.
Up your strength for the scene.
No, that's just Flagrandous Might. My Terrible Brute is for 1 check.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. Display Grandiose Might. So I'm going to spend 2 glamour.
Okay. Spend them if you got them.
Unless I can be showing off my physical prowess by moving Sledge.
Nobody is looking at
Yeah, I
you, so
didn't
no.
think
Also, it specifies
actually-
not for any more practical purpose than showing off or winning a contest.
So spending 2 glamour. 3. Right, so I increase my strength by 3.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I gain additional equal to my weird. Alright, so I increase my strength by which is fine because that puts me at 5.
Hell yeah.
So strength athletics, you said?
Yep. -1. You can spend willpower if you need to.
I'm actually going to spend. What's my blessing? I know that. Okay. I'm going to increase. Already at 5.
Whatever you're saying, you're not picking up on your mic.
No, I'm just mumbling to myself about my options as an ogre, but I don't actually need to do that because I'm already at 5. Strength, athletics, spend -1. I'll spend a willpower, so that's +2.
Alrighty.
7 successes.
So this man who probably outweighs you by a good 100 pounds.
Oh yeah, for the visual,
as massively tall as you are, has at least 6 inches on you.
Yeah, for the
you pick him up like a toddler.
For the visual, where most ogres are big, both height-wise and width-wise, Akujin, in comparison, is like a string bean. It's just raw muscle, no fat.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yep. And one step after another, you can feel some of the snow wisping into the tops of your boots, but you get him over to the Jeep, which is still running and still has the heater on. And you and he, with a fair bit of snow, into the back seat, which is the easiest access if you're having to lay somebody out, more or less.
Yep.
Shove him in there, swing his legs in, and he's at least out of direct wind, although there is some coming in
by
through
now.
the
I
open
was
door.
like a minute behind.
At this point, yes. At this point, you are able to see Akujin heaving Sledge into the back seat of his Jeep that's just kind of sitting there.
Parking lot, grabbing medical equipment, and yeah.
When Mira gets over there, can I leave him with you and go grab others?
Yeah. Try and coordinate with Summer. I assume they have some other people who are doing first aid. Anyone who needs surgery level aid that can't be provided, I can and see if any of them know where Lark went. But
Lark took off.
I understand.
Lark took off when we got here. Diego and Liz is going after her.
Is Diego able to keep an eye on this?
Yeah.
I'm trusting you on that.
Diego's my search and rescue guy. Don't worry.
Surprisingly wriggly. Anyways, Mira is already sort of starting to try and stitch up gut wounds, and I really need to check all of my abilities because I have lots of them.
So I will leave Sledge to Mira and go find the rest of the wounded. And the rest of the summer court, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Go be a summer member and liaise.
All right.
We've got a medic over here. Come on.
Meanwhile, Phage, you've pulled up to Adele's house.
Yep. I parked the motorcycle.
Paige's car is just sitting in the driveway.
Yep. I find a nice spot in the driveway to park the motorcycle. And I head up to the door. I'm assuming it's not locked because the person who would lock it was bleeding on the way in.
Oh yes, because being woozy would remotely keep her from the foremost thing on her mind, which is keeping 2 people in this chat out.
Fair.
No, it's locked. Yeah.
If it's locked, she will knock.
Slow walk to the door.
Very large shadow at the door.
But not Akujin-sized shadow.
Yeah.
Bigger than Akujin. We'll be honest here.
Look through the people.
Wider than it.
See who it is. Unlock, 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 unlock. Door opens. She doesn't normally lock all of her locks, but It's a special one. Anyways. How is everybody?
I mean, she pulls out her phone. Apparently, hell's breaking loose.
That seemed to be the impression that I got. Would you like to come in?
Yes, please.
Step back. Hold the door open.
Step in.
Everything is fine here.
I
But-
mean, why are you cut open like that?
That's sort of a long story. Actually, no, it is a fairly short story. It was my final little parting gift to the new Guardians. They get to clear up what would look to most people like a murder scene.
I understand the sentiment. Might have been a bit overkill.
Trust me, from someone who's been killed literally thousands of times, that term is not an actual thing. I'm fine. I'm a little bit low on plasma. It'll grow back. That's what it does.
Only if you keep yourself in a steady supply of, intaking fluids.
Which
Oh,
I
she's
will
been
absolutely-
intaking some fluids.
Okay. Are you
Now
okay
is
as
for
well?
pain killing. Tomorrow is for healing.
As a glass of milk is shoved into your hand by Paige. Now.
Your partner is annoyingly assertive.
Competent.
Assertive.
That too.
That's why I love her.
It's frankly like
Well,
trying,
one of the many reasons. I'll be honest with you.
it's frankly like trying to deal with a mortal version of you, except for a little better perspective on things. Drink, drink.
Well, I get it honestly from my abuelita.
Anyways, what do we know anything beyond the text? Because I understand that there have been some phone calls going back.
I've been driving. I haven't been on any phone calls.
That's smart.
You at this point see 4 missed calls from Mira, half of which were definitely just trying to get a hold of Paige with voice commands.
Hmm.
Well,
She's
if they
either
haven't-
driving or helping people.
Or dead. I'm not saying it's the most likely option, but I'm not saying it's an unlikely option. They were apparently heading into a place that was very dangerous. Perhaps someone should check. I can, but
Well, before I check on them, I'm checking on both of you. Are you? She looks over at Paige. Are you all right? She asked that to Paige, Jack.
Paige is sort of just staring off into space for a moment. I'm fine.
I know that tone of voice.
A lot's happened tonight, and I'm worried for all the new people I've met in the last couple months. And
Understandably.
if something is going badly, I'm worried for my city too.
Also understandably.
And on a brighter note, I learned that Adele has ghosts.
Yeah, that's sort of her thing.
Adele, I understand that you're kind of a little bit waspy. I don't
touch.
suppose anything happens Day of the Dead around here that's real, anything like.
I mean, it's a shallowing night.
Neat.
Things happen.
Here, come on, let's sit down. I'll start calling people. Let's just sit and not freeze to death and not bleed out, she says, looking at Adele.
I'm not going. Everything is appropriately bandaged.
You still need medical treatment. And there's
Yeah.
literally 2 people in the motley who can do that.
I will. I have had to care for myself in the past.
Yeah, and in the past, you had to care for yourself and still get murdered.
Yes, but sometimes there was a long period of time between me bandaging my wounds and your some of these would take place over months or years in my perception. Because when you extend it, it gets that much different experiences. You understand? I will be fine for now. When I need to, I will be happy to talk to Liz and get things fixed up.
I noticed specifically Liz. All right.
Yes, I am doing this because this is going to annoy and frustrate Mira, which is payback for her being a bitch when we at the meeting.
You know she does it because she cares, right?
Most of the time, yes. Sometimes you just want to lord things that you've said or know over somebody after the fact.
Anyway, let me check on the others, and she will call Mira first, as the person who is least likely to be immediately being shot at.
I am petty, but I acknowledge my pettiness.
All right. So Mira, I'm going to need dexterity and medicine. You've got your kit with you, so you're not at any penalties for this one.
I wouldn't be anyways, because I am a... Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you've got your kit with you, and you're not at any penalties for A, lack of materials, which you don't, and B, you're out of the wind and stuff enough doing this in the backseat of a vehicle that I'm not going to call you on any environmental conditions either. So yeah, just dexterity and medicine to see if you can get Sledge to stop bleeding out.
Yep.
You can spend willpower if you need to, and all of your Kyrigan stuff applies.
Yeah, so I'm a Kyrigan, and I also have holistic awareness, which is in the World of Darkness core source book, not Rites of Spring source book. That's why I couldn't find it. So holistic awareness means that injuries I'm healing heal in half the time, mostly.
Yeah, you can make that. You can make your holistic awareness once a day.
Yeah. And the antiseptic charm, I did actually put in my... I basically made a Google Doc to be my character sheet.
Fair enough.
Because these character sheets don't have a great place to put all this information.
Yeah, not the best, unfortunately.
For someone who has mostly taken merits. So, yeah, I get 9 agains. I'm at no penalty for this not being a hospital. Because I have proper tools. And I am going to spend a willpower on this. You said dexterity and medicine?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, 2 successes.
Okay.
Because I can't roll today except for 4s, apparently.
A lot of 4s in there.
Right?
All right.
It's 8, 8,
and
4s, and 5s.
did you want to use your holistic awareness for this role specifically, or did you want to save that for something else?
Now.
Okay. No worries then.
That I was just bringing up because I was trying to find all the things I can do. I don't have any goblin fruit that I've processed right now. So I
Okay.
can't use that.
No problem.
But I do have holistic awareness, which will be helpful if a lot of people are somewhat injured, potentially.
Right. Okay. All right. So with 2 successes, he hasn't restored anything yet, but you are able to stop the bleeding. You've gotten him stabilized, definitely. But yeah, you're able to determine he's been shot at least twice in the abdomen. Number of other shallow, less perilous injuries as well. Some mostly abrasions, a couple incisions. Definitely got on the wrong end of at least one bladed implement at some point. But the bullet wounds were the things that were the most concerning. Go ahead and give me a intelligence and science as well.
See, science is a mental skill,
Yes, it is.
so it's just a chance roll.
Okay, that's fine.
Intelligence of 1.
Nice.
Hey, with 1 success, these bullet wounds do not look like any normal bullet, just in terms of shape. The bullets went all the way through, but the cross section of the actual point of impact, yeah, these bullets were not of a standard caliber that you're familiar with or have ever seen before.
Filing that away in the back in case anyone interviews me about this later. But
yeah, over the course of the next hour, as you're patching up Sledge, you're able to make that happen and get those particular bits of information. Agujin.
Yep.
As you go out and are trying to interface with the rest of summer, the 2 people that you meet that are still up and moving around, or sorry, 3 people I should say, are War Dancer, Anima, and where'd his name go? And Servius Gracchus, who's a low-ranking member, a summer wizened.
Where is Anima in relation to me?
Anima she's about half your rank.
Okay. So as I see them and start walking up, we've got a medic over by my Jeep working on Sledge right now. If there's anybody that needs immediate care, we should get them over there. And then I'll look over at War Dancer. What happened?
Lost 2. Graves and Street both didn't make it. And you can see she's got blood up to her wrists, basically, and a little bit smeared across her face.
I'm just going to check her out. As I'm talking to her, I'm just going to check and see how wounded she is.
Mm-hmm. She looks like she's got a graze across her neck, like a nasty discoloration, some burning, definitely some tissue damage there, but it didn't really bite.
Okay.
Give me an intelligence and science if you have any science.
I have no science. No. I have
Okay,
I have weaponry. If it could be intelligence weaponry, or firearms, intelligence firearms.
It could not be intelligence weaponry in this case. Okay. No, this is much more a diagnostic science roll.
Okay. Investigation.
Nope.
All right. Chance die.
medicine.
The medicine's also
so interestingly, medicine is for the practice of medicine, but any sort of forensic activity that like a coroner would do or an ME is all science. According to the book.
No success.
Mm-hmm.
No successes. All right. So yeah, you'd say it was either probably a bullet graze or something similar. She's got a couple cuts on her forearm on the right side, but fairly shallow. They, numbers were lowballed. Unfortunately, they had snuck in more between the report and contact somehow. Best we can tell, coming up from the south, I think they killed 7 or 8 mundanes. So we've got some disposal to do there. And we drew lines right alongside. They got some weird ass guns, blades, axes and cleavers mostly. Street took one straight to the neck. Jugular just right next to me there. And you can see what the blood on her face. It's a definite splatter pattern.
Yeah.
It's not like a smear or anything.
And it just sounds like right now she's not all there right now. She's just giving a report as best she can.
No, she's definitely there.
Is
She's
she?
just
Okay.
give me a wits and empathy, actually.
Yeah, let's do that. That I have dice for. Not a lot, but I have some. No successes still.
Okay. Yeah, like she seems very cognizant.
Mhm.
But she's also, while she's giving you this sort of rundown of what happened, she's also elsewhere.
Yeah.
But not like in a shock sort of way.
Okay.
More in a, I've got part of my attention diverted to something else while I'm also doing this one thing. I'm mentally multitasking.
Yeah, she's compartmentalizing right now.
Yeah. But put most of them in the ground. A couple survived and retreated.
Did they retreat physically or did they retreat through their portals?
Portals, yeah.
Okay, so
like you had mentioned.
So they're not still here.
They blood pooled. No. No enemy bodies for disposal, at least. So that's not going to draw too much attention.
Okay. If we've got a medic, and I'll indicate in the direction. We've got a medic over there. You should get yourself checked out. Let me handle the bodies over here.
Yep. And I walked away pretty easily. Servius was here for backup as well. He's probably the worst out of the 3 of us, and then a couple others extracted some things back to the fort. And that's where they took our fallen.
So by that statement, the 3 of them that are here are the only ones left. No other.
They're
wounded?
the only ones currently left.
No other wounded. Okay.
No other wounded currently. Yep.
All right. Let's get you 3 over to the jeep. Where were those mundanes?
And she points across the way. They had them stacked up. I think this was their staging ground for whatever they were doing with them.
All right. Let me go take a look at that after we get you over to the medic. And I will escort the 3 of them back to Mira.
She'll just kind of whistle. Yep. And the 3 of them will go over there.
As Mira's working. Mira, 3 more.
We have some people looking for Lark. But before we do that, we're going to take our break.
If you're watching on Twitch, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. We'll go back in a bit. We're back.
And welcome back to Mojo Presents Changeling the Lost. Oh, God.
Oh my god. Oh my god, yes.
I actually want to play to set a World of Darkness game inside the TV that Loki from Supernatural is watching.
I mean, kind of equivalent. Yep.
Oh, that is the best.
Yeah, the
episode of
question is which of
Supernatural.
those would be murdery?
Mojo's, definitely.
Mojos. Because
Yeah.
Loki would still be super murdery, but there would also be like a lot of slapstick and game shows.
Ask your doctor if herpexia is right for you.
Anyways.
Good, improved Zinthos from the makers of Axion and Metro.
No, that's Control Freak, who is a Mojo XP, but he's not Mojo.
Right. No, we're just bringing everything together now. That was still just one of my favorite parts of the Teen Titans cartoons. All right. Anyway, there is a bird lady lost in the snow. It's Lark, for anybody who wasn't paying attention.
With a wolf and a goblin chasing her.
That could also be the synopsis of any Supernatural or X-Men story.
I've changed back to myself for the meme.
Okay. Yeah, no. Scenes have transpired, but yes, no, you are well where you can have canceled that out.
Yep.
But Diego has the trail. Go ahead and give me Lark. It's starting to affect you pretty badly, so I'm going to need dexterity and athletics from everybody,
Including me?
including you, because this is
Okay.
keeping your feet in increasingly hazardous conditions.
By everybody.
Am I-
Lark,
minus-
you're at your -3 on this. Yep.
Okay, 3. All right.
Am I
Yep.
on anything minus or not?
You're dressed for this kind of weather, so no.
Doubly, because
Okay.
Akujan threw a warm jacket on top of your already warm jacket.
I don't know if that would help with the
2
dexterity.
successes.
Hey.
3 successes.
All right. And let's see how Diego's doing. He's actually not a super athletic guy because he runs around on motorcycles most of the time.
Yeah,
This would be hilarious if he's doing the worst.
Yeah.
Yep. He's so
Load
you're
it down my ass.
right. Yeah. You quickly outpace Diego, and eventually it occurs to you, Liz, to look back over your shoulder, and he is very deliberately walking through the snow and occasionally pausing to apparently try and catch a scent every once in a while, which is slowing him down a bit.
Okay.
he's a very deliberate hunter.
He is. He takes his time. Lark, you are keeping as good a pace as you can. But the cold is starting to bite. You're starting to get that painful feeling in it. You take 1 point of bashing damage.
Okay.
And Liz, you're pretty much just Diego started heading in a direction, so you just took off as fast as you could that direction.
Yep.
Roll them again.
Okay.
Diego's going to focus in and actually spend a willpower on this one.
Yeah.
4.
Diego tracks things. I'm the one that bench presses motorcycles. So it's the I've got the athletics. He's got the dexterity.
All right. So, Liz, you had pulled away a little bit, but Diego has basically been keeping pace with you now and is slowing down a lot less frequently. Lark, you are struggling at this point. Every step is just harder and harder and harder. The shoes you're wearing, you're starting to get some snow caking in around the tops of your boots. You can feel a little bit of it melting and just cold water occasionally trickling down your ankles. Your socks are getting wet. And at this point, you've just sort of reflexively started holding your arms against your chest to try and protect yourself from the cold as much as possible. But each gust of wind is like the blow of a hammer into you, and your vision is starting to fuzz a little bit. Last roll. Let's see how everybody does success-wise. Spend willpower if you want to.
1.
Okay. So with a total for Lark of 2 and 1 and 1. So you've got 4. They've got Liz, you've got 7, 8, 9. So Liz, you're the first one to reach Lark. As Lark, you slip and just crash to your knees into the snow a bit. And Liz, you see her probably about 10 yards away as the snow ceases blocking your vision for just a moment, just kneeling in the snow, arms huddled around herself, shivering heavily as she's, looking like one of the worst parts of the Donner Party right about now. And you can hear Diego crunching through the snow behind you, hand up a little bit against the wind.
I'm gonna rush forward, and I'm gonna like drape the coat mostly over her, but also sort of over myself. So it's kind of
It's not
covering us.
that big enough.
It's not that big. Okay.
It's a one-person coat.
Okay, I'm gonna try and put it over here.
I'm big. I'm not
Lark-
that big.
So it's
Lark, you feel something kind of settle over your shoulders. At this point, I'm going to need you to make a resolve and stamina -2.
All right.
because what you do is you put a
3
thing over the
successes.
bird's head.
Okay. Yep. You sort of feel this weight kind of descend on you. And for a minute, you're like, did I just get snow dumped on top of me? But it's not super warm, but it's heavy and it cuts the wind away from you. And you can feel you're shivering against whatever this layer of stuff is. And then you can feel hands on the outside of it as Liz is coming up behind you and covering you over with this. You're still very, very cold. Your legs, of course, are half buried in snow now, and that's not warm at all. But you are able to maintain consciousness. Liz, Diego eventually catches up after a minute or two.
They're sorry for my going away. Hi. Please don't run.
I don't think I can.
That'll be the
Yep,
hypothermia.
we're gonna need to get you into somewhere warm and out of the weather.
Can you walk?
Can I walk?
You can give me a dexterity and athletics. Still at a -3.
1.
Catching your breath a little bit, you struggle back to your feet. It's not feeling great. You're going to be able to keep your feet at least here, but just the thought of having to walk under your own power back does not feel like a good idea to you right now. You might be able to make it, but you are not entirely certain.
I don't think I can make it.
And that's my cue. And Diego just picks you up in kind of a cradle carry.
Didn't he have a blanket on one arm?
Yep. Liz, can you get the blanket over her legs?
Yeah.
And with a little bit of struggling,
It's
all right.
tall.
Diego's not as tall as I am, at least.
No,
So,
no. Diego's a little taller than Adele is.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, get us back to your vehicles. Can you take lead on that? Do you know where we are?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Hopefully. The answer is yes to that question.
And the two of you begin to carry Lark back toward the Jeep and the minivan.
Yep. I have a magical lollipop of healing in my gear. I don't know if I used it at the end of last whatever happened, but it's in my gear. It's on that list.
What merit is that, Aaron?
that is my merit of fairy healing, which is in Rites of Spring. It's the one that starts with
Okay.
the words rites. Rites
Okay.
of Spring. I was just looking at that.
That's
Spring
Means
page
that it's
90.
within these 5 pages or something.
Rites of Spring, page 90.
Okay. Because I need to see if there's a half-life on those at all.
It might be just covered in
Fairy
like-
healing merit. That's right. Okay.
Yep.
Do. 2 points better.
They don't heal vampires. Is very important.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Or
So if you're a
ghosts,
vampire-
or humans.
For some reason,
Sounded
that's
like
the only
Lark.
sentence that I actually bothered to copy over to my PDF.
You
Does
cannot,
not heal vampires.
Does not heal the dead or vampires.
cannot use
Right.
goblin
Yep.
fruit to heal the dead, including humans who have died of their wounds, ghosts, or vampires.
Yeah. Okay.
Just-
Nope. Doesn't say they expire. So, yep. You've got that.
It's covered in lint, but that is thrust toward your face.
Lark.
Some people say you shouldn't have a lot of sugar. I disagree.
So does that mean then that if you give it to like an AI that is infected with a computer virus, it will heal it? Because an AI is not dead, is not undead, is not human.
So keep in mind that this specifically heals lethal damage in the ways that a goblin fruit can heal lethal damage.
Computer virus could do what considered to be lethal damage to an AI.
I'm sure we will find a computer-based changeling to test that on at some point.
Let me just pour, soda over
For
them.
now,
Yes, if
no.
the AI can eat the lollipop, then theoretically they can be healed.
All right. So a lollipop is thrusted into your face.
She'll reluctantly take it.
Okay. So you start sucking on that as you make your way back to the vacant lot. So right about the time that Mira, you've started to look over the rest of the summer court members that are still here. All of them are, in game terms, maybe a couple points of lethal damage in. Nobody has anything aggravated. Nobody's in wound penalties yet. So they're not really in a terrible amount of danger. Is
We'll
when
remind that Mira's the one I was calling at some point.
yes, is right about the time that that Lark, Liz, and Diego come back. Diego, seeing them lined up, is honestly not going to bring Lark over to you right now. He's going to take her straight to the minivan just to get her out of the way.
Yeah.
Your phone rings, though.
Phone on speaker, healing like 4 people at once, checking like my blood pressure cuff on the guy who was bleeding out. Hello, Mira's medical office speaking.
I take it you're busy doing the healing. Is there any
I'm not too
update?
busy. Tell me what you need to know.
Is there any update?
Lark is Akujin, can you check on Lark? Lark is back. I don't know. She didn't seem like she was doing great. I'm also helping Summer with the aftermath. What's going on your end?
Adele's wounds are bandaged. She's drinking to try and kill the pain. So there's that.
That's great, but her tolerance is going to be lower because if she's lost blood, then
Oh, we're aware. Paige and I are keeping an eye on her.
okay.
Capable of managing my alcohol consumption while my blood quantity is about half its normal amount.
We'll be here until you get everything wrapped up over there. She's not bleeding out anymore, so
All right. I need to go do an initial check on Lark. Do not let her make anything worse before I get there. I should have sent Liz. I should have sent Liz to do. Okay. My phone's on.
get Larks on too if you can.
I will do what I can. Yeah.
All right. Good luck. And she'll hang up.
Lark, you are shoved into a minivan. Would Mira have turned the minivan off?
No, she would have
Left it
left
running.
it running because she
Okay.
knows that one of the big. Jack, at what point do you have to roll for like flashbacks?
You can roll for one right now if you want.
Given hypothermia and Mira and
Yeah. With everything that's been going on, I'd say this is a fairly traumatic thing for Mira that could potentially risk a clarity break.
so what is that roll?
Okay. So what you are going to do is you are going to roll. Make sure I get this correct.
And I'm at a
All right, so
minus
you're going to
1 to the clarity losing dice pool because
right because you're a Ferrist. Yep. So you would make a degeneration roll, which is basically you roll your clarity in this case, since you have that rather than morality.
I'm 4d10. I'm just gonna type it out. That is one success, I think.
Yes. Yep, that is one success. So you don't have to worry about your clarity dropping, and therefore you don't have to risk gaining a derangement. So you
Cool.
manage, even with all of the chaos going on, and as much as it puts you in mind of your durance, the suffering and trauma that's related to it, you are able to just focus on the task at hand and sort of push that mental instability aside.
These summer
Occasionally,
court people are such good friends with each other.
I mean, they really are. Which is
That's my
why the
coping
fact
mechanism.
Which is why the fact that occasionally as you glance out, the blowing snow seems to resolve into the faces of some people that you, shall we say, did not treat the best in Arcadia, glaring at you with accusing looks. You're like, nope, that's just the mind's insistence on imposing faces on otherwise just chaotic patterns. That is a thing that happens to everybody. I have something important to do here so that my friends can be taken care of.
Friends are what's important. Okay. Yeah, tending to Lark now.
I did go check on.
All right.
I did go check on Lark when you asked me to as well.
Yeah. So Akujin can give me an intelligence and medicine.
Yeah, can I have? Because I'm here.
Yeah, you
I've
can.
been there.
And so can Mira, as each of you try and sort of diagnose Lark in turn.
This is going to be not good because all Akaji is basically doing is going to come up and sort of lean against the minivan and just say, "You doing okay in here?" And that's all he's doing. Because he's like, I don't fucking know.
Lark won't even acknowledge him.
Cool. And chance roll.
This is just trying to stay as close to Lark as possible. Again.
Okay.
1 success because I can't roll.
Okay. Well, you and Liz both are like, yep, this is early stage hypothermia.
Okay.
Keep her warm, keep her dry. We should probably get her out of those wet clothes as soon as we can, but in the back of a minivan that is running is maybe not. Well, we'll have to shut the doors at least before we do that. Maybe some warm fluids would probably be a good idea.
Liz, I've got a few changes of clothes in my bag. If you can get the windows blacked out and start getting her into drier things, at
I
least.
don't want to wear your clothes.
Well, then you should have thought of that before you nearly died in the snowstorm.
How about mine?
That also works.
Fine, whatever.
Do I think Liz's clothes are even going to fit her?
Liz
Liz is
tends
quite
to wear
short.
like fairly baggy
I was gonna
things,
say,
honestly.
Liz actually frequently wears things that are 2 or 3 sizes too big for her.
Yes.
So yeah, probably.
Yeah, it would probably
Yeah.
fit.
The question is, are Liz's things currently dry, given the fact that Liz has been running around out in the snow?
Well, Liz's other things are because her entire nest is in a few duffel bags in the back of.
The
I would
minivan.
definitely
Liz,
have
did
a
you
change
have
of
any
clothes.
extra clothes in your
I would
in your
definitely
nest?
have a change of clothes up there.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yes, we will definitely say you guys have a dry change of clothes that used to that belong to Liz that will fit a
Alright.
Lark.
We will leave you guys to this. Diego, we gotta go check something out.
Right on.
And as Liz is starting to handle that, Mira is circulating because medical checks take place in hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I don't think he's really stable enough for me to just hand him off to Summer yet.
Okay. So about the time you get back to Sledge, Anima has taken over in your absence and made sure that everybody's bandaged up at least.
Mm-hmm.
And War Dancer looks at you. Do you mind coming with us? We need to get him. I mean, I'm sure you know that convalescing in a vacant lot in the back of a Jeep, we
Not
should get him
ideal.
Yeah. Do you mind coming with us down to the fort?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me one moment to ensure that my motley will be able to.
Sure. We'll pull the vehicles around.
Thank you. And going over, Oxygen Slate, we still need to borrow you for driving back. I've still got to help the person who's bleeding out.
Yeah, just let us take a look at this location over here. Apparently there were some mundane bodies. I need to see if I need to get my boys out here to do a cleanup.
That's fine. Liz, keep the doors closed to the van. Keep Blark warm. It's probably best to go back to Adele's place. Liz, when you get there, I want you to immediately check on Adele. I think she's pretty badly injured, but
I could drive.
I wasn't sure.
I could drive the van.
This is not a great place to try for the first time. Please don't get into a car crash. I don't know how much more of this I can do tonight.
Okay, do you want me to wait or what?
Yes, wait in the van. Keep an eye on Lark, who is also badly injured. I'm giving the keys to Akujin. Don't let someone inexperienced drive. Thank you.
She hands you the keys.
Diego.
Makujin, right, and Diego immediately just reaches over and takes them out of your hand.
Yeah, I hand him over to Diego.
Yeah, and I will go help out War Dancer.
Okay. So they pull their 2 vehicles around. The 3 of them load Sledge into the back seat of one of them, and then you can slide in right next. And those 2 vehicles head off south towards Fort McHenry, which is where you've heard, although you have never visited before, that Summer basically has their home base of operations.
I probably split the medical supplies I had with most of them remaining with Liz, with the assumption the warmongers have more bandages at their home base.
You would assume.
I don't actually need the medical equipment.
Right. Yeah. No. You would assume that the court that runs headlong into danger at every given opportunity probably has plenty in the way of medical supplies for the aftermath of doing that all the time.
As they're loading Sledge up into the car, I'm just gonna like lean in, and I know he's unconscious, but I'm still gonna for the moral support. You're gonna be fine, you big bastard. It's just a flesh wound. And I'm just gonna gently pat his foot as they load him in and close the doors.
And then you and Diego go over to investigate the bodies.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me it's an investigation. I'm gonna say just at a -1. Conditions are still real bad out here, but you guys are just giving them a cursory once over pretty much.
Can I spend a willpower?
Absolutely.
And basically what I'm looking for here is this something that we're going to need changelings to clean up, or is this something that I could have mundanes clean up and have it be taken care of quicker?
Okay.
3 successes.
3 successes. So looking over these bodies, there are 7 of them. And they're sort of piled together in a tangle. All of them have some level of mutilation, however. You see ears missing. A couple of them have a tongue cut out. Many of them are missing some fingers. One of them has an entire foot just removed.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 successes, the one thing you don't see, because there are sort of common tropes in terms of trophy taking or bounty collection or things like that. Nobody has a nose taken off. It pretty much runs the spectrum from there, but everybody's nose is at least intact.
That's weird.
Given what War Dancer said, and given that this is definitely fast becoming a court thing,
Changelings probably.
You get the idea that this would probably be you would cause fewer ripples in anything. You would definitely ruffle fewer feathers if you get changelings to take care of this.
Do I know anybody that could take care of it quickly? That wouldn't be in summer and thus wouldn't have been here?
Give me an intelligence and politics.
What you're saying is no. Because that's a chance roll. No.
We'll see if Diego knows anything.
Yeah, if Diego doesn't have anything,
he might.
I'm going to pull my phone out.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, hey, look at that. Diego knows something.
Oh.
Let me make sure I'm using the correct term here. Diego's just kind of tapping his chin for a minute. And then Winter's got that Sun Banisher guy, I think they call him.
You got a number?
I mean, Winter just left to go to the fort, so maybe call War Dancer and see if she can winkle it out of her.
Open my phone. Dial the War Dancer's number.
Yeah, what'd you find?
Yeah, so we're all manner of mutilation here, everything cut off. Weirdly, all the noses are intact. I don't know if that means anything. But like fingers, feet, toes, things.
Writing down, I guess. Yeah.
Noses.
Ears, eyes, that kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Diego says Winter's got a Sun Banisher who could probably clean this up quickly, considering all our folks are probably busy.
Valid. And it is their season. They might as well pull some weight on this. And that is one thing they're good at. I'll give them that.
Yep. Check and see if Mira's got the number.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it. You guys want me to head over to the fort too, or just do security loops?
Stay frosty, and we will call you. I might actually have a job with you in the aftermath of this whole thing.
Cool. All right. Tell everybody stay safe.
All right.
Like.
Same with you. Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah.
security to, and security to, and no, you can hang up absolutely, and she'll just be like, meh, he'll figure it out. Because you know that right about now, having some guys out on the streets just cruising with eyes open probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
That's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to text Phage.
Okay.
The text is going to start off with, "Sorry, I'm an asshole."
Don't you fuck.
No, just sorry, I'm an asshole. You know, stress. Tell your people to stay safe. And that's all I'm sending.
Okay. So, Mira, as you're monitoring Sledge in the back seat, War Dancer turns over her shoulder to look at you as Servius is behind the wheel actually doing the driving. Who's the Sun Banisher for Winter right now?
That's the guy that I used for contact, correct? Or
Yes.
no?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. Jim Marbles.
Is that the sort of thing I can pass along, or just like, I can get in contact with them? Sparkles.
That would be up to you. You can, that War Dancer is very highly ranked in the Summer Court.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't be just like telling some rando something. And Sun Banishers frequently are
a little more public.
Well, they're much more public than most of the other things in Winter. So it depends on how Winter you want to be about it.
See, I'm a social Winter. I disguise my winterness by being too social for people to think that I'm anything.
Right.
I can get you a number.
That'd be great. There's this will need some cleanup. So
yeah. And I will give her the number. I won't give her a name or any other information. But I assume that it's functionally a burner phone anyway, and he can tell her as little or as much as he wants to.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so you pass that contact information along. Diego looks at you, Akajin. Get him back home?
Yep, let's get him back home, and then we're wheels up for the night. Or sorry, no, not wheels. No, yes, wheels up. Yes, that's correct. That is the correct phrase. Because we're going to be driving around.
Going down.
Wheels up means you're taking off, which means we're going to be rolling around. So yes, we're wheels up for the night.
Yep.
It's weird to use plain terminology to reference wheeled vehicles, but that is how it works.
This is why most people don't do it.
No, I know.
All right. Cool. Well,
So
you ring the boys, and I'll get the ladies back undercover.
yep. Meet up at, and I'll give him our normal place to like meet up for before we start our patrols.
Rock and roll. And
Guys,
Liz, as you're sitting there with Lark,
Mhm.
the driver's door pops open, and Diego slides behind the wheel of the minivan. All right. We're going to your rich lady's house.
Okay, you should get out of the car or really move. You could drop us off on the side, and then we can walk up.
This is your van. I'm going to leave it there.
Yes.
Cool. And he starts driving.
Okay.
And you also better fucking carry Lark to the door, or at least get Phage to do it.
Yes, I know. I'll try and carry it. I'm really bad.
Oh
at
no,
it.
that wasn't directed at Liz. That was directed at Diego, who still has
Oh.
something
I
resembling.
like the idea
That
that
doesn't
Diego's
seem like
like,
a good
nope.
idea.
And so you decide to carry Lark, like just drag through the snow.
Diego is very
By her arms.
responsible. He knows what he's doing.
Diego is very responsible, and he does know what he's doing.
Mhm.
And he's
Wow.
also the lieutenant in a criminal motorcycle gang.
Yep.
So that's going to come into play here in a bit.
Why?
Oh God, he's gonna get arrested driving the van.
Why? What?
No, this is quietly to Lark. Why?
He's got wolf ears.
Okay. Not you.
Okay.
I was gonna say, being lieutenant criminal biker gang, etc. To me, that means at some point we'll stop giving a fuck because they're not part of the biker gang.
I mean, that's
So we have expended enough resources on these assholes.
fair.
Maybe. But Mira's also definitely the best doctor you know.
You don't know what doctors I know.
There are like 3 people in the city that are also Chirurgans.
I mean,
One of
wow.
the best doctors that you know.
The only other one that you know is Spring. But anyway.
Why?
Liz, can we please do this at Adele's
Okay.
and not with him in the car? Okay.
Okay. I think I know how to drive now.
No,
Okay.
don't.
The radio played.
I'm sure it did.
Okay.
Your small talk is really bad, Liz.
What are you gonna get as your tattoo?
That's also another conversation. Right?
Does it hurt?
Does what hurt? The everything? Because yes.
Oh. Okay. I wasn't sure. Do you still have your phone?
Yes, unless Mira took it.
Mira turned it back on, but she did not take it.
Okay. I'm gonna use I don't know if this would count if I meet the catch for it, but as I manipulate everyone around me, which is intuition. The catch is the contract subject does not know the character's name. Now Lark knows my regular name, the name I use, but I have not told her my past name. I don't know if that would count or not.
So yeah, your birth name is still technically considered your true name.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah,
I
you would meet the catch on this one, I would say.
Okay. All right. I want to try and do that. I'm curious.
Uh-oh.
Whenever Mara says,
do other
I'm
things.
curious, we should all say, uh-oh.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad that somebody understood.
I also remember what witch's intuition does, and oh my god, you're
I
evil
mean,
sometimes.
it's not conscious. Unless it's really bad.
Okay, there are very few situations in any context where the phrase
It's not
"it's
conscious.
not conscious" is a good thing.
Flashbacks to an ooze at a church.
All right. Lark, what is your composure? How many dots of composure do you have?
2.
2. So wits plus weird minus 2.
Okay.
Or you could do the thing that I did and accidentally give Liz the fear that she's absolutely not looking for.
Are you looking for anything specific?
Mostly like anything I can tell. Liz is concerned about Lark and why she ran off, and is not really does not have a way to understand this, and so she's trying to figure it out without trying to converse, because that's not working so well.
This is amazing. Please
Okay.
wait 5 minutes. No, I'll use a supernatural gift to invade your mind.
Yeah.
You do have a pledge with Lark,
Yes.
so I'm gonna give you the +1 for that.
Cool.
However, given the emotional circumstances around this and Lark's general approach with everything that's been happening, there's a -2 penalty associated. So you'll be at a collective -1 in addition to the composure penalty. So unless you want to spend willpower, your wits at plus weird -3.
Yeah, I'll spend a willpower on this.
Okay, so then it's just a flat wits plus weird roll.
Okay. Did it roll?
Not yet.
Okay, let me try that again. Sorry.
Is it asking you for a modifier?
Yes, there we go.
All right, 2 successes.
Mhm.
So Holly, for Lark, what fear is most closely tied to her decision to leave the night gallery alone tonight?
Sorry, I need to think for a second.
That's okay.
No, that's fine. Take your time.
Mainly the fear of the unknown.
Okay.
The fear of an uncertain future.
Got it. So at that. What?
I was in
alarm going off.
Gotcha.
So at that, Liz is gonna kind of go quiet and just is watching you, which is also unsettling in a different way.
So, like, you heal 1 of your points of bashing damage, on the way, and as you finish the lollipop, at how many total bashing did you have?
I believe 3.
Okay. So all three of those are gone by the time you get back to, by the time the car ride is over. And you regain 1 to your dexterity penalty, so you're only at -2 for dexterity pulls
Okay.
currently. Liz, you're just watching the Lark through the rest of the ride, and you don't really lose focus on that until Diego puts the van in park. And you see that his taillights are pointed directly at Paige's bumper. He is in Adele's driveway.
We're here.
All right, ladies. Liz, why don't you go up and knock on the door, and I'll get Lark up there for it.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Move it.
I go and do it.
Diego comes back, and Lark kind of helps you out of the vehicle and carries you up. You're starting to get very, very tired at this point with the stress and the exposure, and then sort of coming back down from that in the slow part of recovery. Your body has been through intense amounts of strain tonight, both physically and emotionally. And that fatigue is definitely starting to wash over you pretty strongly by now.
Phage is probably at the door the instant she saw headlights pulling in. So
Hi.
oh, come on out of the cold.
Diego has
Yeah,
Lark.
I see.
Hey,
She will
Boxer lady.
walk down.
brought you a present.
Phage will walk down and just take Lark.
Hey, Phage.
She doesn't say anything.
Diego will sort of pat you on the head twice, Lark. Night.
She-
Turns up the collar of his coat, those heavy motorcycle, like cold weather pants that he's wearing, and just stumps off down the sidewalk, breath clouding in front of him as he goes. You see
He's
him pull out a phone.
persistent and annoying.
Damn straight. Kind of
Phage-
wafts through the wind back up.
Phage will hold Lark close and is definitely a very large, warm body as she sort of carries Lark inside, but is saying nothing and just kind of looking ahead where she's walking.
Worth noting, Lark is still wearing Akujin's jacket,
Yes.
which is
Yes, she
covered
is.
in pins and patches and very much a biker gang jacket.
Like it's not your actual vest colors or anything, but it definitely has. There's a faint smell of gas and oil coming off of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But she just kind of carries Lark in and probably straight up to a bedroom. And just kind of pushes the door open, lays her down on the bed, and says not a word as she sort of walks out and shuts the door behind her.
I go find Adele. I've been told she's
Actually,
injured.
Liz, give me
okay.
give me an intelligence and science.
Okay. Two successes.
There has not been an opportunity up until this point, really, because most of the stuff along the way was closed. After drop is definitely a thing. Somebody should make something warm for Liz to drink, or for Lark to drink very first.
Oh, okay. I'll go
Yeah.
do that.
Mm,
Something.
Where is Adele right about now?
Adele probably would have been hovering just enough, like within sight, just to make sure everybody has gotten inside. Nobody who is not allowed inside is inside.
Nope.
And then once all that was resolved, she probably would have meandered off to her office.
Okay. So as you're headed to the kitchen, Liz, you see Adele headed upstairs in the direction of one of the rooms where she tends to spend a lot of time and frequently doesn't let other people in.
Are you dying?
I am not dying, but if you feel the need to examine, please come in.
Okay. Leave thing on stove. Go.
All right.
The stove is on.
As Phage is coming back down, sees Liz leaving something hot on the stove. Goes over to make sure that doesn't light on fire.
It is liquid, so it's going to have a while to go before it lights on fire.
I mean, getting the premise of what's being done here, she will warm the drink that Liz has left on the stove.
Yeah, no.
then
Liz,
take it
I'm going to say, started a pot of boiling water. There's a perfectly serviceable kettle sitting right there, but she did it in a pot instead.
Yes.
And there's like a canister of instant hot chocolate sitting out on the counter.
Okay. She will see what was being attempted and actually make hot chocolate.
Okay. I mean, it'll boil just fine. It's just Liz decided to use something with a lid rather than, something else.
Yeah.
It's the first thing she saw and thought of.
Phage will make proper hot chocolate, and
Okay.
being that all of her dots and crafts are about cooking.
No need to make a roll for that. Simple enough.
And again, in that same fashion, very much just very quietly, no word, just walks into Lark's room, sets the very warm, probably with marshmallows in it, hot chocolate next to Lark on the table, and just walks out again.
Lark will likewise say nothing.
Do you drink your hot chocolate?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, good. Because that's the thing. You don't leave a patient the option to treat themselves if you're, doing this kind of treatment. Yes, I know that people are allowed to refuse medical treatment legally in that.
There's a difference between being allowed to refuse medical treatment and you preventing that person from having access by giving an unconscious person a beverage.
Right. But yes, so the drink is consumed and Lark is well on her way to recovery at this point. Mira, you are taken into basically they drive down to Fort McHenry. They pull up next to like a very small outbuilding, and War Dancer does something at the door and pushes the door open, and this waft of light and heat just kind of billows out into the cold air. There's a kind of a puff of vapor as warm air condenses very quickly in the cold, and she just kind of waves the other two to help bring Sledge in.
I was gonna say hopefully they help, but
yeah. Sledge is brought down. They have an actual infirmary room down here that's fairly well supplied. And you're able to take as much time as you need in order to get him to where you're satisfactory that he's going to be able to convalesce and he's out of danger. And get that all taken care of. It's a very large hollow that they've got here. And multiple rooms, people coming back and forth. There's probably you're guessing that there's probably at least 10 people in here just as a matter of course currently. But everything is very quiet, which you kind of chalk up to the fact that there were by reports at least 2 casualties here, and everybody's sort of processing that.
Well, I'm just doing everything I can to make sure that's not 3 casualties.
Yep. And you are able to do so with everything they've got there. Yeah. you would have no trouble. It might take some time, but within several hours, you're able to pretty well ensure that things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Oxygen, you're out driving around. The town seems pretty quiet. The weather's pretty bad still. That's been holding fairly steady. Lake effect drops a lot of moisture on Baltimore from time to time, and this seems to be one of those type of storms. not too much in the way of law enforcement out right now. If this had happened during a different season, you feel like there's every chance they would have been all over that. But with the storm, visibility low, that sort of thing, news of this kind of incident is going to spread more slowly now than it would if conditions were more ideal. Plus, they're probably busy dealing with garbage infrastructure and all the sort of things that a storm does to a city whose systems and public services are not at their peak, or indeed really all that optimized, because this is World of Darkness and everything is garbage.
Just randomly to no one because he's by himself in the Jeep. Just goes, be really nice to see a fucking snow plow out here.
Welcome to Baltimore.
Welcome to any city when it snows.
Pretty much, yeah. Because you know what's free and gets rid of snow? April. But you keep an eye out. There's a couple times when you pause trying to catch a glimpse of something that strikes you as a little odd, but it always turns out to either be nothing or a couple of pedestrians or a random kid who decided that sledding in the dark is a brilliant idea.
I'm going to scare the piss out of that random kid to get him to go the fuck home if I see him.
Give me an intimidation and presence roll. I'll give you a +2 since it's dark and you're a scary ass motherfucker.
Get the fuck back inside.
If you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to try to pull glamour off this.
Okay.
Presence intimidation plus what?
Present 2.
Right. Oh, hang on. That was rolling a chance die. Hang on. Let's try that again. 2 successes.
It's gonna be disappointing.
2 successes. So you pull 2 glamour off a freakishly terrified child who immediately runs home, and you've got a red plastic saucer that's all yours now.
Oh, in the back of the Jeep.
Alrighty. Stole the kid's sled. Fuck yeah.
Hey, it'll keep him out of this blizzard when hobgoblins are running around killing people. So
right, exactly. Yep. This was a public service, goddammit.
I'm in security.
Exactly. All right. Lark, you eventually drift off to sleep unless you were actively really trying hard to stay awake.
No, she's not.
Okay. So after finishing your hot chocolate, the warmth setting in, you're starting to get those very uncomfortable prickles on your extremities that signify the return of blood to otherwise somewhat imperiled physical tissue. But it's not enough to keep you awake, that's for sure. Liz, do you go check on Adele?
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and give me an intelligence and medicine roll.
That was a terrible roll.
These bandages are all wrong and should probably be taken off and redone immediately.
Well, I haven't used it yet. Let me use my coin on that.
Okay. So yeah, you're looking at it and then you kind of blink, rub your thumb over the coin. Yeah, this is just gonna, no, actually, no, that's fine. It's not cutting off circulation, actually. Okay, that'll be all right. She'll just need some time to heal and make sure that they stay clean. But other than that, you think she's going to be okay.
Be successful.
Scarred, probably, but...
You're fine.
I'm aware. That's what I kept saying. I am fine. Blood loss is temporary. Revenge is forever.
The revenge hurt you.
Not any worse than I've been hurt before. And
Okay,
this time
at
it
it-
was my choice.
Do you still feel pain?
Yes.
Okay. Don't stop
But you
feeling
can put
pain.
it on. No. But you can put it all in perspective. Think about it this way. You've walked into a door before, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever slammed a hand in your door?
Mm-hmm.
If you never knew the pain that you felt slamming your hand into the door, you would probably think that doing a header was truly agonizing because you've never experienced what worse might be. Fair?
Yeah.
I know how to do things that are as non-painful as possible. And they're going to have to completely replace carpet and drywall and so many things.
Actually,
Or just wall off a closet.
I don't feel a lot of pain right now, which is concerning.
Right now?
Yes, I fell out of a car. Well, jumped, ran.
Your bashing has gone as two by
Okay.
this.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
it's been a good while.
It's scraped up. But
You are fine.
uh-huh.
You're physically okay.
Yeah, sometimes you say you're fine though and you're not. Because
You are physically okay.
Lark's probably sleeping by now. I have to go help her.
Yes.
Bye. I close the door and leave you.
Fair
I'm gonna
play.
go.
That's fine. I'll just remember that we have reached this level of escalation where we both just walk away next time you have questions about a certain something.
This Lark is going to make you answer my question at a certain point. So I have to take care of Lark now. I'm gonna go.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna go
Awesome.
and I am going to, because I have a thing where I can slightly be a therapist.
I can slightly be a therapist.
I
feel like not being a therapist at all is less harmful than slightly being a
Possibly.
therapist.
It's entirely possible.
Could be.
But I have
It's true in so many other professions, so.
Right?
you can do like a sort of for dream writing, which I have a contract and that will let me step into Lark's dream, and I want to help somehow. I want to calm her down and like try and allay that fear of the unknown that I've learned about.
Okay.
Give Lark pleasant dreams.
Yeah, Lark is gonna love you for this, Liz.
All right. Lark, I'm going to need you to roll me a where'd it go?
So I'm basically trying to
There
do
we
like
go.
the dreamscape.
I need you to roll me I need you to roll me a wits and resolve, Lark.
Do I have any penalties for this?
Nope, none for these.
2 successes.
All right, so it's an intensity 2 dream.
Okay.
And so if you're going to overcome that, I will need a wits, empathy, and weird
Okay.
-2.
All right. See, weird. -2. I'm hanging on to my last little willpower there. Yeah, I've just got 1. Hang on to it. 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. And you'll have to spend a point of glamour.
I will.
Yes.
That
Because
requires
your
a
dream,
glamour?
yeah, you have to spend a point of glamour to dreamscape a fellow psyche.
Ooh, I didn't realize that. I don't have any glamour actually.
Okay, yeah, you
Um,
would need glamour in order to do your stress relief.
Okay. Can I just do because dream writing, I can learn about the dreamer, and I realize that the stress relief one needs me to have like a knowledge of the vice and virtue, which I don't think Liz does. She just doesn't interact with people that much to know those. Yeah, I don't have glamour.
Yep. If you want to just trot in there and try and learn something.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and sit there and learn a little bit.
Okay.
So psychotherapy, yeah, that doesn't.
So
That's
for
not
the learning,
dreamscaping. That's just
okay. So for the learning, that's just a wits, empathy, and weird flat roll.
okay. Sorry, I'm looking at a bunch of the different things. Psychotherapy, which which is what I was kind of.
If you wanted to be doing psychotherapy, you would
Yeah.
actually have to have a knowledge of psychotherapy, which I'm going to sort
Okay.
of go out on a limb here and say that Liz probably does not.
Okay, fair.
Yep. So yeah,
That's-
the most that you could learn tonight, the most that you could do tonight would probably be learn about the dreamer and
Okay.
make your first roll. If you manage to get 5 successes on it, you learn one thing tonight. Otherwise, this is an extended thing that takes
Yeah.
process over a period of nights.
Actually, I guess I should probably ask this first. What kind of dream am I into? Does she seem like still kind of keyed up, or has it sort of has the exhaustion and everything else just sort of like slammed everything kind of down into a manageable level?
There's not a particular type of dream going on right now. It's not recurring. It's not
Okay.
a memory. It's not wish fulfillment or anything like that.
Okay. All right.
And she's obviously not in a nightmare currently. It's
Okay.
just dreaming.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I will just learn then. What's empathy weird?
Okay. Yep. Wits and empathy and weird.
Okay. Not minus anything. 5 successes.
Okay. So, are you looking for her virtue, her vice, her willpower, one of her mental or social merits, or one of her mental and social flaws?
I am looking for a virtue.
All right. What is Lark's virtue, Holly?
Fortitude.
Fortitude?
Several of us
Thank
have
you.
fortitude as our virtue, don't we?
There's a
so.
few, yeah.
At least 3 of
All
us.
right. That's
But
me.
Mira, you are offered a bed at the Hollow of the Summer Court for the night since it's very, very late.
Yeah, I will very gracefully accept that.
Okay, sounds good. And the last thing that happens this evening is that Akujin gets a phone call from War Dancer.
Yep.
As you're driving around. A job I mentioned. Tomorrow, honestly, if you can manage.
Yeah.
You'll need to get some of our people together. Mix up the courts if you can. Because the people that you're going to don't really take to courts.
And they are?
Are you familiar with the Margaret?
Am I familiar with the Margaret?
Give me an intelligence and occult roll -1.
I mean, it's already a chance die.
Okay. Roll me a chance die then.
Natural 1.
Dramatic failure.
I super fucking don't
Oh,
know
This is not.
anything.
This is not. Right. This is unfortunately not a role where that is actually going to have much of any effect because it's literally, do you know something? Hella no.
You know something. You don't know something
Good,
so
no,
hard you get an
abjectly
aneurysm.
Wrong info.
Right. Oxygen dies behind the wheel the way he would have wanted.
Yeah. So just no fucking clue.
Border Patrol for the keyhole. Mostly they monitor the Beltway, but the way these hobs were running, it looked like they had traveled a distance. Cues point to them having popped up from outside rather than in, based on what I'm able to pull from the aftermath here and corroborating reports. We need an emissary to the border marches. Can you get some people together and do that tomorrow?
Probably. You have anybody in mind specifically?
I know you don't have a gang that you run with that's among the keyhole. With the unlikely getting chiseled out and the favors they did and you did for us tonight, might as well give them a chance to get some goodwill back. If they're willing to go with you, great. If not, you can pull from somebody else.
Well, that's a conversation I'll have in the morning.
You'll be looking for Mr. Green down by Fort Armistead.
Got it.
Which you know is a park kind of out by the Beltway.
Yep. Where are my notes?
He runs a motley down there, so.
Mr. Green down by where?
Okay.
Mr. Green where?
Fort Armistead.
Okay. Will do, War Dancer. How's Sledge?
All right. We're going to get some blood in him. He'll be all right. It's going to take him a while to get on his feet, but we've got 2 whole seasons to get through before he has to try to fight to be in charge of anything.
Oh, smack him upside the head for me when he gets up.
Can do.
Click.
And that's where we're going to close for the evening.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Delayed reaction. Goodbye.